Mr. Beacon podcast is sponsored by Williot.
Welcome to the Mr. Beacon podcast, the only podcast that we know about that explores digital to physical convergence, the worlds of auto ID, real-time location systems, and indoor positioning. It's pretty niche and we're pretty geeky. We try and think about business. We try and think about people. And thank you so much for joining us. And I want to thank our very special guest, Eason Huang.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Steve.
Eason, for joining
thank you
us.
for your invitation.
Yeah. So you work at Minew, and this is a fascinating company. I wanted to talk to someone from your company for years.
Really?
The reason is that you not only do you have an amazing product range, so if anyone goes to your website, they'll see that.
It's great to hear that.
Very diverse set of products, but you're also behind many other brands. There's a lot of companies that are in the beacon business or selling Bluetooth tags, and they don't actually make their products. You do.
We actually have really good relationship with them. Yeah.
So you have a very interesting perspective because you have it through your own direct sales and you have it through these partners. So I can't wait to hear a bit about your views on the market. But let's start off kind of with a broad question about that. What are you seeing in terms of IoT demands, commercial spaces, and just generally from your vantage point, what are you seeing?
Of course, in terms of the IoT, Internet of Things demands for commercial space, and no matter in China or other countries in the world, the Internet of Things is becoming more and more popular. I think a lot of people want to know what the reasons behind all of this growth and popularity. And the Internet of Things has brought tremendous possibilities, having really great impact on many industries today. Some industries have accepted the IoT with the help of developers, while others are trying to adopt the technology and explore huge business opportunities. A lot of things are getting smart with the IoT technology, or we can just put a smart word in front of some industries like smart retail, smart logistics, smart healthcare, smart buildings, like that, Yes, we're going to be talking about all of this. Things change as we have the new chances coming up. That's what we're going to do to help solutions provider to make a change to catch up with the group of the market. So when talking about the growth of the IoT demands, we can see that because the IoT can also help them build advanced, powerful models and generate new revenue by increasing their return on investment, So, what the IoT brought us today includes efficient business process. The enterprise can use the IoT to track their devices in real time and gain profound operational insight with the help of sensors. The data helps them identify problems in the access and improve efficiency by minimize energy cost and time wasted on maintenance. Yes, I think the other thing is that we have much better security as real-time monitoring of workplace becoming possible and easier than before. It can also, I think the IoT can also improve the organizational productivity by improving the employee efficiency and access utilization and reducing the maintenance cost. So that's why a lot of companies and enterprises want to get involved with the IoT market. So that's how the opportunities come. So besides, the inventory asset tracking and management is one of the benefits we have from the IoT. That's what we are facing in a lot of companies. Yes, Steve.
So how long has your company been in this business for?
It was over, let me guess, let me just count, maybe 15 years.
15 years.
Over 15 years, yeah. For manufacturing the hardware device, and we are focused on the researching and the development and manufacturing and sales hardware IoT devices. That's what we're focused on.
So you were making electronics and devices before the beacon market took off, and you've seen it from the beginning. How would you characterize the growth in sales if you were to describe the relative volumes of what you're seeing in terms of orders? Has it plateaued? Is it going up? Or what's the trends that you're seeing?
In terms of the beacons development, I think we have the beginning from the 2013. 2013, it was the time when the Apples launched the iBeacon. That was the time we began to do something about the beacons development. When it comes to the markets overseas around the world, it's still going up, but I think we are pretty much close to the peak of the trends. So we have to do something interesting and innovative. We have to do something new and different, not just Bluetooth beacons, but we got to do something varieties,
Mm-hmm. Well, and you certainly have that. You have very robust products. You have beautiful looking products. You have something that is, I think, pays tribute to the AirTag or whatever it is, the Apple thing that you can now have.
AirTag,
And you also have devices that read the broadcast, the gateways and so forth. I also noticed that you have an angle of arrival product. Is that something that you are shipping now, or is it something that you're going to be launching in the future?
Yeah. The angle of arrival is what we're focused on, the higher level of the indoor location. Yeah, we're not just doing something like the RSSI. It's a traditional way to locate something, So we have to move forward to use something new, like the angle of arrival. That's what we are focused on. So I think this is the trend of the indoor locations trend. Not just angle of arrival, but we have research on the UWB or something else like that.
So ultra wideband as well as Bluetooth. So are you shipping the angle of arrival product now?
Yeah, we are shipping the angle of arrival now. So yeah, we are just focused on the hardware design. We are also working on the algorithm of the angle of arrival systems. That's the most difficult part of our engineering, the algorithm, the software, but we're trying to do our best to figure it out. Yeah. Yes. But the hardware, it's okay, and we're shipping the hardware to some partners and companies right there. Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I think distinguishes you. A lot of American beacon companies, a lot of European beacon companies aren't really beacon companies. They sell the hardware reluctantly, and they're really trying to make money out of the software. But it seems like your company is happy to just sell the hardware. Is that correct?
Yeah. We focus on the hardware design, manufacturing, and sales, something like that. We just wanted to have the partnership with this software company or solutions provider or system integrators, because we just focus on our own parts, the hardware, and the software. We can just cooperate with others. That's how we get together and put the system into a high level to just giving a better service to the customers.
You're focusing on the hardware, which is refreshing, because I think sometimes people don't want the software that some vendors are trying to sell. What are the opportunities and challenges that you see solution providers facing now? Your customers, I'm sure you get to know them well. What are the opportunities and challenges for them?
In terms of the opportunities or the challenge for solutions provider, I just want to jump into the challenge as we've seen in this IoT space. There's a lot of data. If you look at the most common one from the IoT signals report, that is that a lot of these projects for this commercial space, whether it's asset monitoring or condition monitoring, even commercial real estate occupancy and analysis, a lot of these things fail early on the proof of concept stage. We see it over and over again because maybe there are over 50% of the projects fail in their POC stage, which leads to the waste of manpower, time, materials, and resources, and the financial resources. What a waste, And the top reasons given are, the first one I think is the projects are too complicated. The data of these projects are numerous and complex, which requires strong processing ability to analyze data. But not all companies have this ability to handle. And the second one is that in terms of the challenges, I think the challenge is going to be the ROI. Yeah, the ROI is not clear. Maybe they built something, but they didn't really know until they were way down the path to spend a year building it, and it wasn't gonna make any money, right? Like it takes a certain amount of time and energy and let the project go on before they know whether the project is gonna make any sense, which will cause a waste of resources to a certain extent, And the last one, and the last challenge that I think is that it doesn't scale, Maybe they build it once in a lab and then they look it out, they took it out into the real world and realize, wow, this is really hard to install and put into practice. Economies don't scale very well, and that's the lack of scalability. And it may only be used in a single place, but not any other areas. So we've seen a lot of these things going on around some solutions provider all the time. And so what we need to do is to accelerate them to accelerate their proof of concepts, because on average, I think a lot of you in our audience probably have experienced this. The average IoT pilot takes about 11 months, So if you spend 11 months doing the first step, it's really hard to build a business around that's repeatable. Yes, I think that was the challenges for the solutions provider. Yeah,
that's gold. That's really, I think what you said is absolutely spot on, and I think it obviously comes from a lot of experience working with many companies, and I guess they come to you and they order a few products for the pilot and you're banking on them scaling, and then they don't. And I mean, the ones that really resonated with me are the lack of clarity on what the ROI is, and the challenges with scaling. And it's funny because, in my day job, I'm selling Bluetooth tags and the services and the sensing and so forth. And when you ask people, so what's the ROI? They really struggle. Almost everyone struggles to tell you. And then, quite often, if you're working through a channel partner, they will say, well, of course there's an ROI. They wouldn't be doing it if there wasn't an ROI. And you're like, yeah, but what is the ROI? And how do you... So I think your prescription was do the proof of concept faster, so at least you can fail fast. That's your advice is fail fast, get it done, and so if there's a problem with scaling, that that there's a problem with the ROI. Is there anything else that people can do, or is it just a matter of get on with it and do it quickly?
The ROI, I think the people have to do some research before the projects. They have to research what they really want to do for the projects, and they have really better understanding about the cost, the overall cost, about the projects or the devices they have. and they have the really good predictions about the outcome of the projects to achieve what they like. So I think they have to make a better preparations before the projects, before they take actions. So yeah.
I think that's true, and sometimes people can do it themselves. They can get the cross-functional team together, get finance involved, get buy-in to what the ROI is, quantify it explicitly. I see that happening. Sometimes it requires bringing in a consultant. They joke about, what's a consultant? He's someone who reads your watch and tells you what the time is. And that's very dismissive. But I think for some people, sometimes you need a neutral person, a third-party person that can say, yeah, this is going to save 10% of your capital employed if you can do a better job of asset tracking. And of course, not every consultant will do that. But sometimes when you bring that consultant in, he's sort of empowered to ask the tough questions and speak to the top levels in the company and go across the functions. And I think that's super important. This is great. I wasn't expecting to have this conversation with you. Let's get back to some of the things that you're making. It seems like you've recently produced a developer kit. Can you tell me a bit about that?
Yes, I like to share something about the developer kit. So with that, the challenges we have faced. The Minew IoT development kit, so Minew has a lot of experience in low power wireless hardware devices, R&D, manufacturing and sales. We focus on smart office, retail, logistics, healthcare. We have a large partner ecosystem and many kinds of sensor devices that can collect data from the market and bring it into the cloud platform really seamlessly. So we do this in a special way. We actually don't put our own cloud application in front of everything. So our focus is really on providing suitable hardware devices for the specific application, as I just mentioned above. So we provide mature hardware devices for customer solutions, which can flexibly join customers' network, and we can also support the development kit also support the Amazon cloud, which is AWS, the Microsoft cloud, and the other public cloud platforms. So the kit has really good scalability and the functionality. So what's more, and we can turn it into the large number of products to different application scenario and provide hardware basis for customers' early testing, showing the feasibility and the adaptability and the functionality of our products, just to verify the implementation of customers' own solutions and reduce the losses caused by the misjudgment in the early stage.
So tell me, let's get to some specifics. How much does it cost and what's in it?
The prices, I can tell you our self-service team will share you the price of the development kit with you. Yes.
Okay, I'm going to cheat here. I checked online and it seemed like it was like $260, $260.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
which is pretty good.
Yeah. We have batch beacons. We have access beacons. We have the regular size beacons like our temperature and humidity sensors inside, and we also have the gateway, the indoor location gateway, our G1, as our data hub. So we put everything inside as a starter kit to help the solution provider. Yeah.
And why go for the kit versus just buying a couple of the products a la carte? What is the significance of the kit from a developer's perspective?
Okay. So we've done with the key strategy that we put the beacons, sensors, and gateway together in our starter kit, allows developer to build something that could be done in a pretty short time. that's also scalable when you decide to do it over and over again in a large enterprise or with a much bigger idea. And that's what Minew G1 starter kit is all about. So taking a process that could normally take in weeks and months down to a few days and not require a lot of coding and a lot of custom development to get to that decision if you're going to go and not go with a particular project. Because as we know, not every project is going to become a large production scale operation, right? Some customers just don't get it, but we want to be able to take them to the market as soon as we can, especially after they get the POC test done. Then they can quickly to choose the right beacons from our development kit, maybe 1 or 2 beacons they want for the next step.
I think that's really good advice. Back when I worked at Qualcomm, we had this amazing user experience team. And before they ever developed anything, they would mock up the solution and they would, create software by just writing things on pieces of paper. And so maybe it wasn't the real solution. It wasn't the perfect solution, but just by getting that in front of customers, you learn so much. And so I think, this developer kit approach is a really sound one. I wish we had more time to talk, Eason, but it was great getting your perspective. You have a unique perspective as you're kind of inside so many other vendors' solutions as well as selling your own. I want to thank you for coming on the show. It's been a real pleasure.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Very good. And I also want to thank you, our listeners and our viewers. We really appreciate your support over 130 episodes now of the Mr. Beacon podcast. Do like us, do subscribe, do tell your friends. Also want to thank Jesse Hazelrig, who's the producer of our show, and Nelson Fernandez, who is our editor. And I want to thank Starbucks for all they're doing for our family, employing our son who is on the autism spectrum. So thanks a lot. See you next time. And do hang around. I've got a really great conversation with Eason, talking a little bit about his life working in China and some amazing song choices. So thanks very much. So Eason, whereabouts do you live?
Right now I'm just living in Shenzhen, which is one of the most biggest cities in China. It's located in the southern part of China, Guangdong province. It's pretty close to Hong Kong, pretty close. So,
wonderful.
That, yes.
Just out of interest, sort of what's life like there? How do you get to work? Does it take you, do you have a long commute? What kind of place do you live in? These may seem like strange questions, but I don't get to talk to people in China very often, so it's kind of interesting.
You mean commute to work?
Yeah.
I just live nearby our company right now. I just rent an apartment. It's pretty close, so that I can have a work over time, because I live so close. So I don't spend much time on commuting.
Do you walk to work, or you take a bike, or?
I just walk to work. In 5 minutes, because the apartment just right near our company, just right near.
But we were talking earlier, and you were telling me that you'd spent time in the States. When was that? How long did you spend in America?
Oh, it's from 2015. I've spent 3 years overseas in the United States. I have completed my master's degree. I was focused on the telecommunication management and services, which is my graduate's majors. So it's pretty close to what I'm doing now, the job. That's how I get my career started. So I remember it was a pretty wonderful time for me in the United States from the 2015 to 2018 something. Yeah.
Very good. And when you came back, did you go straight to Minew, or did you Minew? Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Actually, I didn't find a job directly to Minew. I have another job at the first beginning. I changed because once I found my interest and my advantage is right in my major. My major was telecommunication, so that's why I picked my new company as my long career path. So
Because you felt your qualification was relevant and you were passionate.
yeah, it's pretty close. Yeah, I think I'm qualified to do this industry and for my career.
No doubt, and I'm sure your time in America helps. Given I'm assuming a lot of your customers are American companies, or not.
I just found a job in the United States, but my parents have asked me to come back to China, so I haven't spent a lot of time after graduation. So just come back directly. Yes.
So, we have this tradition of asking our guests for 3 songs that mean something to them. Which ones did you choose?
The 3 songs, I think I'm going to pick See You Again, the Fast and Furious, the movie,
Yes.
See You Again, which is exactly I want to share today because the song was released in 2015, 2015 by the Charlie Puth. This is a song by the Charlie Puth. It was really nice. I love it so much. I'm not sure if you listen. So it's actually in memory of Paul Walker, the movie star who passed away in 2015.
All right.
2015 was also a really special year for me because I was still in the United States back then. It was a wonderful time, a great time for me because I have not only got my master's degree, pretty much like what I'm doing now. That's how I get my career started. But also, I made a lot of new American friends till now. Some of them are still keeping in touch. I miss them really much. So whenever I listen to this song, I think of the time I spent in the U.S. Had a great time with my friends over there in New York City and New Jersey. So I'm really looking forward to see them again, my American friends. Yeah.
Wonderful.
And yeah, it was really wonderful. And the second song that I wanted to share is Oh Father, by the Body Jones. Yeah. It was released in 2010, 10 years ago, one of my favorite songs. I like one of the words in this songs. The first sentences, it was like, "Oh Father, I never want anything from you but time."
Wow.
Yes, my father has paid a lot for me since I was a little kid, and I always thankful. And I think this is a gift from God. My dad has tried everything he can to create a good environment for my education and growth, and taught me a lot of things like what responsibility is and how to be a man. That's how to shape who I am. Be responsible for the job and yourself, your families or loved one. Pretty much like what you did to your son, right, Steve?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So yeah, my dad is getting old, 17 or something. I really hope God bless him and give him more time to get old slowly, and give me more time to stay with him because we are now separated in 2 different places. I work in a big city, and he's in a small town, 500 miles apart between 2 of us. So when I listen to this song, I miss him so much. Of course, I miss my mother too. Yes.
It's very touching. I'm very moved.
Yeah, it was very touching. Yes, my father's getting older. Yeah, and this last song I want to share is the Stronger. The Stronger. What doesn't kill you make you stronger. That's pretty high. Yeah, that's pretty high song that I used to play over and over again in my phone when I was down, and I love the words from it. Like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. It's famous. Yeah. A couple of years ago, I just came back to China and I lived myself in a big city, and I started to work all day long. No one's been around to help. sometimes things went not really well during some projects, ups and downs. I probably felt depressed, but not always upset. I got to do something, and I got to make a change. Use my mind to think deeply in the middle of the night to figure out some solution to the problem. Never give up, and I always make it through because I believe what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So I'm gonna recommend it to you, Steve.
Those were amazing choices. I'm so grateful to you for choosing them, Eason. Thank you very much.